I was a little surprised by The Furious in the sense that it doesn't feel that far off quality-wise from a number of terrific action films that have come from various Asian industries in the past decade. Think The Shadow Strays, Furies, Raging Fire, Twilight of the Warriors Walden, War, Project Wolf Hunting, and so on and so forth. The Furious doesn't feel like a milestone in the action genre that's going to inspire copycats in the future. It's just a really quality action movie, which sounds like I'm kind of downplaying things, but it's really more so about calibrating expectations based on the really great word of mouth that this movie has gotten ever since it premiered at festivals. But don't get me wrong, from like top to bottom, this is an incredible action movie, and it's easily one of my favorite movies of the year. This is a new film from the legendary Kenji Tanigaki, who's a Japanese filmmaker who has a long history of stunt choreography and action directing in Hong Kong and Japan. And he's actually worked on two of the films that I mentioned earlier. And with The Furious, it feels like he's taken kind of all the lessons that he's learned over the years and really crafting something that, while not necessarily pushing the genre into new territory, it really showcases just what happens when you get the very best in stunts and choreography and just give them the reins to just go as hard as they can. Story-wise, it's your usual daughter gets kidnapped by human traffickers narrative, but that story is really just there to provide opportunities for these big beatdown sequences to happen, and it absolutely lives up to the hype in that regard. These are some impeccably crafted action scenes. It doesn't go as brutal as something like The Night Comes For Us, and it doesn't really evolve the visual language of action cinema like The Raid, but it features some of the most intricately choreographed hand-to-hand fight scenes that I've seen in a really long time. It does an amazing job at balancing the way that they're pushing the complexity of it as far as the human body can take it, while still feeling like stuff that the characters are coming up as they think on their feet while they engage with their opponents and the environment. And speaking of, the footwork, especially in this movie, is on another level. There's not a whole lot to say without me just going, and this scene was awesome, and this scene was awesome for like 10 minutes straight. So I'll just say that this sets a really high bar as far as action movies go in 2026. And there's already been quite a few action movies that came out this year that I really enjoyed. The Rip, In the Gray, Shelter, The Bluff, They Will Kill You, and Mike and Nick and Nick and Alice. All of which I would recommend, especially if you're as big of an action aficionado as I am. But I highly doubt that anything is going to be able to top what Kenji Tanigaki, his action director Kensuke Sonomura, and stars Shi Miao and Joe Taslim, and really the whole cast and crew, especially the stunt department, were able to pull off with The Furious. So if it's playing near you and this stuff is your kind of jam, then I cannot recommend it highly enough.